into this recap. So last time, the party made their way ashore at the Baquereto, and it wasn't long before they met with the Baqueneto or Neko, and Vlad was reunited with his mom, Tyra. The Baqueneco deemed the party worthy to undergo the trials of the Forge, and Tyra asked Umbra to guide them and keep her son safe. The party entered the tunnel and began the trial. They studied the wall paintings carefully, learning the Dragonborn Apocalypse myth before entering the lava pit. Once confronted by the lava worm, they quickly solved the water puzzle before moving on to the door puzzle and gaining access to Evor's palace. They were greeted by food, drink, and comfort before kobolds requested 2 starfall ore and their armor. Some of the party were hesitant until Uzbek, the elderly kobold leader, gave them a tour and answered some questions. The party got a month of downtime while the new armor was crafted and pursued training. By the end of the month, they were presented with their legendary armor. And I would kind of like to back up a little bit, if you guys don't mind, because we went over what you guys trained in, we went over the armor, but ultimately, you guys just spent a month together in this forge, and for all intents and purposes, you guys have 3 new members to the party. You didn't meet Edwin until you guys first set off for Yokai, and you've kind of gotten to know him a little bit. It would seem you're starting to form some relationships, some bonds there. Then Siren.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Making a lot of assumptions.
Then Siren came on scene in Yokai right after Vlad's duel with Brage, and you guys really haven't had much time to connect with him. It's just been go, go, go nonstop. And then finally, you have this Bakeneko Umbra that has just joined the party, and that you guys know next to nothing about. You guys know he died in the lava pit, presumably eaten by the lava worm, but that's really the gist of it. So during this month of downtime, when you guys are in this grand white and gold, like marble palace, what takes place? Like, who tries to connect with who tries to form bonds or get to know each other? Walk me through this.
Well, I suppose I can try and kind of get real curious about Edwin's character. Like, his view on death and souls.
Mm-hmm.
And what his opinion would be if, a soul were to be in an inanimate object that could be used for good.
Mm-hmm. So Edwin certainly has strong opinions on the matter of souls. His lady, his deity, basically is the person who gets to receive these souls. Essentially keeps them like a librarian. And takes a lot of pride in having like really powerful souls that have a lot of like strong encounters. And so what Edwin's whole purpose is to try and keep heroes and people alive, essentially as long as possible until death truly calls them. And really, as he's explaining these views, he really takes a sideways glance at Alaris. And is like, and I consider the refrain, like keeping those souls, like putting them in machinery and keeping them from being fulfilled. Essentially, I consider that like an abomination. But I definitely try like not to let Alaris hear, like, hand over the mouth.
Okay. And is this something that Alaris tries to eavesdrop on? I guess Corbin's still messing with his computer, still having issues. So
Sorry,
Has no idea.
I'm listening in on my app. I'm having to like reinstall Windows. It's a whole fucking thing. But yes,
wow.
Alaris is absolutely going to be trying to listen in on this conversation because he just heard his name. He's like, okay, what are they saying?
Okay.
Damn it, Edwin's not sly enough to not mention his name.
Okay.
We need to get someone else to live stream or share.
Yeah, Vlad, if you would not mind taking up that mantle for us.
How do I do that?
So in the Discord Aoethera VC, down at the bottom. Yep, there you go. Okay. So Alaris, give me a perception check.
17 plus 6.
Yeah, I would say you definitely.
Edwin ain't slick.
You definitely hear everything Edwin says. Do you actually butt into the conversation, or do you just kind of let that go?
Well, after working with Edwin and, all the trials that we've been through so far, I do remember him saying that he doesn't fully trust Sentinels, and he doesn't agree with how they were put in. And, teaches their own belief. But I think I'm just going to sit back and really not say too much, because if I, get up and make a big scene, then that's further going to sway his opinion. So, and to try and not sway his opinion to hating the Sentinels even more than what he does, I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Damn. Got Edwin's ass.
How about the other half of the party? What are you guys doing?
Vlad would definitely be interested in, spending some time with Umbra and trying to figure out, what the whole Beck and Neko thing is all about. Especially since his mom is one now.
As am I. I'm curious what happens to the souls of the Bak and Neko. Whether I should like them or not.
Okay. Patrick, do you need to lean on me for this one, or do you...
No. Just curious for specific questions. If anybody was curious and kind of paying attention to Umbra throughout this, sorry, I'm reloading roll 20. If anybody was interested in Umbra, he's kind of been keeping to himself, doing his own little thing, but always around. He's always around. Every now and then, he steps into the forge for a little bit, kind of studying what he can learn from the mechanics of the forge, the engineering. He's interested in the materials that have to be put in to create such weapons and armor.
Edwin's curious how it felt to face and defeat the thing that killed you originally.
Well, I still can't remember so well, but it makes a lot more sense that you have to be a team. Can't conquer something like that on your own. Mm-hmm. And I was prideful for trying. But
yes, the deepest remorse.
It felt good to do it with you.
Thank you. It felt good to be a part of that, and obviously the rewards are great.
Yes, to be honest, even failing to be here and step foot here is its own reward, whether you make it by it or not.
What's the most you remember about death? I'm curious. I've never died myself, so I can't say.
Well, I don't remember much. It was there didn't seem to be much of a transition. I was somewhere I'd don't necessarily recall, but what you would call life. And then I was here, and I was alive again.
Wow. Rebirth. Immaculate.
Anybody who's been watching Umbra, at all, or paying attention to just him doing his own little thing, you'll notice a few quirky things about him. Specifically, an attraction to tassels. Anybody who's seen tassels hanging on
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Tapestry, pillows.
Tassels, eh?
Nice.
And even if you didn't notice, that specifically, you would have noticed the kobolds kind of reprimanding him, kind of giving him the slap on the hand of like, "Hey man, stop stealing our shit." But he's not taking anything important. He's just, little pocket trinkets to keep himself occupied.
He's just a clip, though.
Do you occasionally knock stuff off of tables for no reason?
100%. 100%. And this is in human form. I mean, he'll go back and forth, but he's hanging out with you guys, so he tends to stay in his human form. But he can't help the calling of the cat, if you know what I'm saying.
I just imagine the kobold sitting across the table as you're knocking the cup, and he says stop, and you look at him, and your hand's still there. Then you knock it further while making eye contact until you knock it off the table.
Yeah, very slowly, looking him dead in the eyes. They get annoyed with that, but Umbra is good about helping him clean up whatever mess he makes. It's the taking of their tassels off the nice tapestries and rugs and pillows that seem to bother him the most.
I love it.
Yeah, he's a little goofier than what you would have expected him to be.
I could see Umbra in cat form using the sand they need for the forge's molds as a litter box.
Well, when it calls, and it looks like kitty litter to him.
Can I use this time to asphyxiate a tassel to my rod and just play with Umbra in cat form?
100%. Umbra's down.
He's another use.
He's a little standoffish, but anybody who wants to, puts a little effort into that relationship, he's about it.
Yeah,
Edwin's just kind of watching.
8-inch hard rod.
Edwin's just kind of watching like a scientist. He's like, fascinating.
But as he attaches this to his weapon and start, Umbra transforms into his little calico cat form, and definitely gets a little excited and turns back into his natural Bakaneko form mid pawing of this tassel. And he's about this 8-foot long cat that's just, you can't even see the weapon anymore.
Aristotle would like to play with the giant kitty.
He's down. Umbra's down. He'll stay in his form and see if there's anything fun to play with.
Yeah, and that's a crazy sight in itself. I mean, you've got an 8-foot long Bakeneko cat with ears that harden near the tips, forming more or less horns, with a freaking like cybernetic dire wolf just playing rough and tumble. I imagine as they roll around and tussle, they smash into things in Evor's palace, knocking over tables, breaking chairs. Probably send the kobolds scurrying for cover.
As we break furniture, Umbra kind of takes a break from playing and looks for quality scratching posts out of the things he just broke.
Yeah, he definitely finds them. He shreds things.
Anybody seen the video of the German Shepherd and the Panther that grew up together? It's like that.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Except twice as big.
How about Siren? What's Siren doing? Is he trying to connect with anyone, or?
don't think so. Just like who he is as a person and what he's been through and stuff back at home. This entire time he spends most of his time like in the sauna or the library, and he's always writing down stuff in like a journal. But no one quite sees what he's writing. Because like every time someone comes around, he'll quickly shut the book or like try and hide it. So it could cause for alarm, or it could just be a personal diary.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: this journal that Siren writes in, is it the ancient journal that he also carries around, or is this a separate journal?
I would assume it's the ancient one. Like he has a bookmark in the middle of it, where like the other pages end and like fresh ones start. So like he doesn't get them confused. So, like half of it's personal for him, and the other half is just an ancient journal that he's had.
Okay. Umbra, give me a perception check.
I was gonna ask. That is a 7 plus 6, 13.
13? Yeah, I would say that's enough. You see this journal, and it sparks a memory instantly.
Ooh.
Something about just the old worn leather. You know this journal. You recognize it. Do you keep that to yourself, or do you approach Siren?
No, I don't think he would have a choice. I think he would absolutely approach Siren. And he says, what you got there?
Just a journal. Keep the daily thoughts in. Write about stuff I've seen. Just the usual, I'm sure everyone has one.
I don't know that everyone has that particular one.
I mean, to me, it's just a leather-bound journal book. Like, I've had it ever since growing up. My father gave it to me before he passed, and he told me to keep it safe, so that's what I've been doing.
Would you mind if I took a look at that?
Can I do an insight check to see if there's, like, any malicious intent with him wanting to look at it?
Absolutely.
I got a 14.
Okay. I would say you don't pick up any malicious intent at all. In fact, have you ever lost like one of your something that really means something to you, like when you were a kid or something, and weeks, months, years later, you stumble across it? That look on your face of, oh my god, there it is. I would say you pick up on that kind of sensation from Umbra.
Okay. Gathering that, Siren, he, like, very cautiously, like, he'll hand it over, but he makes sure that, like, the bookmark he had out of the book, he puts it in a specific spot, and as if, like, silently saying, hey, don't go past that mark in this book, and hands it over so Umbra can look at it.
Umbra looks at Siren and says, don't worry. I just want to see the first part.
All right. Go ahead.
And Umbra opens it up. How long would you give Umbra to sit down beside you and look through that first part?
I would say like a good 15, 20 minutes, they're both, I would assume they're in the library, they're alone, and being a sort of outsider to the group, kind of like Umbra is, that's like a little mutual, not spoken bond, but understood bond that they have. So he would give him at least like the 10 or 15 to look through it and see if whatever he's looking for is in there.
Yeah, I think that would be enough. After about 15 minutes, Umbra closes the book back up, closes the journal back up, and passes it back to Siren and says, you don't know what you just did for me. Thank you.
Oh. I guess anytime you want to look at it again, you can just hit me up. So. No problem.
Yeah,
Glad I could help.
yeah. That being able to go back through the journal, it explained Umbra's last month or so of life from his personal journal.
Oh, okay. Quite interesting to find that out. So it's 2 journals in one.
Keep it safer than I did.
Don't worry. Just die with me.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
Oh, this music's got me wanting to just give everybody a big hug.
Yeah, right.
Bring it
Same,
in, buddy. Bring
Yeah,
it in.
Umbra-
buddy.
Umbra-
I cry, man.
Umbra turns into a medium, the medium-sized Bakaneko, and gives Siren a hug.
Siren, Umbra can feel how tense that he is, and just a soft sniffle, but he doesn't return the hug, and he just says, "Thank you, I needed that."
On his way of releasing the hug, he gives him one of the old sandpaper licks.
Okay, that ruined it. Thank you, though.
Tastes like chicken.
Feathers all ruffled in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
It looks like a cowlick across the left side of his face.
For anyone who's forgotten, this is Umbra's Bakaneko form. So
It's huge.
Look at that little guy.
This was just the medium size. Looks just like that, just not 8 foot.
Yeah, the 8-foot one, a lick from that, take your skin off.
Well, to be fair, he is a cat, so he doesn't want to go with the larger form and be tempted by eating a bird.
I was just gonna say that's got to make Siren nervous, being a Kenku.
Sounds like we're gonna be making more wisdom checks around here.
It's making him very nervous. That's why he tensed up from the hug, is because cats and birds don't get along. And so he's just kind of thanks, man. Thank you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Cats love birds.
Umbra turns back into his human form and says, "Hey, you should probably get some pants before we find somewhere else to go."
Honestly, man, I'm kind of digging the no pants life. My feathers kind of cover everything down there. So who's gonna know?
He's only got one hole, so.
That's right.
Exactly.
Cloaca.
The pantsless life is now a part of me. Siren only has the armor of the unseen on and his hat. That's it. Nothing else. His cloak's gone.
Armor of the unseen. That means you can't see the armor, so you're just naked at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just invisible armor.
It's the Emperor has new robes.
Hashtag.
He's just naked with a hat on. With a hat on.
The cool part about the armor is that it's actually just like an enchantment on his feathers. So he has all the special effects, but they are now translucent.
Oh God.
But I still have the belt, the utility belt and holster and everything, so it just looks weird.
I'm going to need you to update. I'm going to need you to update your character so we can all get a visual.
Give me an hour and I can find that photo.
All right. Be appreciated.
I can make one for us real quick. Give me a second.
AI.
Oh God. All right. Here we go.
I mean, we don't need to hold up the game. I'm going to do this in the background.
Oh, I thought you were casting a spell for it.
No. Sorry about that. No.
One moment.
I'm
I'm
not that cool.
All right, switching up gears here. So you guys are presented your legendary armor, and you say your goodbyes to the kobolds, and walk your happy selves out of Evor's palace. You trek across the lava chamber and through the lava bridge. The worm does not come out. You go back through the tunnels, and after just hours of walking, you emerge back on the island, the Bake Island.
I want to say, since we're not in combat, I'm just constantly playing around with my teleport feature, just jumping around all over the place.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Is anybody else?
Wait, you got a teleport feature?
Features?
Wait, what?
You got a teleport?
I can teleport up to 300 feet.
God damn.
That's crazy.
That's a deep ass teleport. Mine don't go near as far.
But
can't
his
teleport, so-
teleport is dependent upon shadows. He has to stand in a shadow, and he can only teleport to another shadow.
So I should not use my light creating
In a
spells.
pitch black room, he can't do anything.
Right.
No shadows. Ooh,
All right.
So there is some balance there.
the old pride.
Yep.
But, you know,
Yep. I was about to say, just like Pride.
But you know, even in a well-lit room, if there's anything in that room at all, there will be a shadow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be like pitch black.
Right. Yeah. So. All right.
I think. Yeah. Good.
So, you guys emerge from the Evor's Forge entrance. It's been a month. And last you heard, your airship was waiting for you in an alcove. I'm assuming that's where you guys head to next to see if it's still there.
Yeah. I hope it's still there. I still need Dr. V.
No one's been feeding him. I didn't remind anybody. They just forgot. He's been tied there the whole time.
Okay.
I hate you.
So it
Yeah,
takes,
we probably.
No, Dr. V's fine. We have people taking care of him.
Yeah, it's not like the ship was empty. So,
Assuming they didn't leave us.
FYI, ChatGPT will not create that image of a Kenku with transparent feathers because
We're
it
too
violates
we're too
their terms of service.
Oh, what?
wow.
We
No porn for you.
It was worth a shot, though.
Use y'all's imagination.
I'm surprised that the ship hasn't left after a month of just sitting there.
Well, you guys, it takes you guys a couple hours trekking through the jungle, but Umbra is able to lead you to that alcove just fine. He knows this island like the back of his hand. He's been here for hundreds of years. And sure enough, your airship is still there. And when you climb aboard, the captain explains to you that shortly after they sat down, a brass dragonborn came up to them and told them that you guys were facing the trials and that she would keep them apprised of the situation. And when you guys actually succeeded in the trials, the captain tells you that she explained that you guys are going to be there for about a month, and the Bakaneko invited them to stay in their village.
Nice. What were the accommodations like? Good accommodations?
The captain will just be like, it wasn't bad at all. You would think that any village here would be run down, but this village, aside from no personal belongings, it looked very well kept up. So yeah, the sleeping mats, they were comfortable. The men that didn't want to extend trust to the Bakaneko, they slept on the hammocks on the ship, and that was fine. Plenty of fresh vegetables, some good game, got some good hunting. on this island, so can't really complain.
Yeah, just don't kill any of the Bach and Echo. They're good guys.
Oh no, we they didn't really come around us, and we certainly didn't want to go around them.
Well, that's good, because I think we might be bringing one with us.
I'm pretty sure we'll bring one with us.
I see you have a new member of the party, Captain Mahone, and he extends his hand out to you, Umbra.
Umbra extends his hand out and introduces himself.
Aye, well met. Welcome aboard. So where to then?
Well, we probably ought to go report back to the elders. They're going to want an explanation. And then after that, we might want to go see about that storm system.
Aye. Okay, well, next up will be Kyoko then. And
Yay!
with that, the captain starts barking out orders to the men, and they start pulling up their anchors, which on an airship seems a little ridiculous, but you know, whatever. It's Fantasyland. They pull up their anchors, they detach ropes, bring it all on board, and the airship lifts off, and they go ahead and they make their turn to head towards Kyoko. And it's a few hours travel, but you do make it there without any kind of incident.
While we're flying in the airship, I'd like to do something.
Yeah, what you got in mind?
So, if I recall correctly, we still have Crow on the ship. He didn't join us down into the forge. And when we had a party member die, Leafeon, I believe he had collected her bag, and I'd like to rummage through that bag.
Okay. You're after that Starfall ore, aren't you?
Yep.
See,
Yeah, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to collect that. So,
Would Crow not want him to have it?
As Crow's de facto best friend, he would want me to have it.
I mean, that is kind of a good point. I think he would want Torque to have at least one of them.
All right, Torque, you get one. I'm taking the other two.
Him and I were best friends.
And
He
then
was home.
Torque Crow will also give you his 3.
His what?
His 3 Starfall ore.
I thought for a second I thought I was just getting one.
Oh, you're getting all 3. You're his best friend, right?
Yeah.
So Torque's getting 4 in total, and Alaris is getting 2.
Yep.
All right. So it takes the better part of what's left of the day, which isn't much, for you guys to get into Kyoko. But you guys arrive safely as the sun is setting, and you make your way. Do you guys want to make your way to the inn, or are you guys looking just to report to the elders and then get back going, or what? What's the plan here?
Good call. Torque wants to go to the inn.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I kind of want to go to the inn too.
Okay. Yeah, so after disembarking the ship, you guys travel those vaguely familiar roads to the inn just on the edge of town, where
I didn't see this part of town. The last time I was here, I ended up with a bag on my head.
true, you didn't see it.
Yeah. Pretty.
So as you walk along the roads of Kyoko, again, you see all colors of Dragonborn except gold, as that clan has been wiped out. But when you get up to the inn, there is a elderly black Dragonborn lady working the counter, and
Racist.
as you step in, she says, "Irashaimase, how may I help you?"
Good
Oh,
question. I need a room.
Yeah, Vlad will approach her and tell her we have just returned from a mission for the elders. We need lodging and food, and we also need to send word to the elders that we have returned.
Hey, Dozo, come in. We have udon cooking. Take seat. Be relax. Be comfortable. I send granddaughter to tell elders you are here. And she guides you over to a very low-set table with cushions around it, as opposed to chairs. And then scurries off to get her granddaughter and speaks to her in Dragonborn, and Vlad and Edwin, those that speak Dragonborn or Draconic, you guys know that she's saying, "Go tell the warden the party has returned, so that the elders are made aware." And the granddaughter runs out of the inn to do her grandmother's bidding. And after a few minutes, a younger Dragonborn than the one that greeted you at the desk comes walking over, and he's carrying large bowls and sets one down in front of each of you guys. And it's a noodle dish with heaps of meat and vegetables on it, and some spicy peppers.
Yes, meat.
Meat. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Torque's happy.
So you
He's
guys
just gonna start eating.
Edwin obviously politely thanks the Draconic boy in his native tongue. Thank you.
Thanks, boy.
And then, arigato. And then,
and
itadakimasu.
his eyes just light up,
Arigato gozaimasu.
because he's never seen someone other than a Dragonborn speak Draconic before.
Edwin probably doesn't notice that the child's any more fascinated with him and is probably going at his food now. He's not very good with social cues.
Okay.
The poor child.
So like the kid's like clearly like beckoning him to like say more, and he's just like nods and goes to his food.
Well,
When Umbra sees that, he invites the boy over in Draconic and offers him a tassel.
the boy is a little confused by it, but happily accepts.
He like dangles it over his head a little bit, just like see, this is what it does.
This is what life's about.
This is good shit right here.
He tells him in Draconic, this right here is the key to happiness.
The boy
I thought it was the number
definitely confused by that. He tells you he doesn't understand, but he graciously accepts your gift and thanks you deeply for it.
Umbra, kind of in a fake decrepit voice, says, "You'll see after a couple of centuries."
That confuses the child even more. But it doesn't take
How old
very
is this
long.
child? Are we talking like 6, 7? Or are we talking like 12, 13?
We're talking about 11, 10, 11.
Oh yeah, then he would have messed with him a little bit.
Yeah. But it doesn't take very long before Grandma comes back over and shoos him away and addresses you guys, says, "How is your udon?"
Vlad will
It is
bow.
delightful.
Yeah, Vlad will bow from his seat position and thank her, and for her, it's fantastic.
Very
Yeah.
good.
A respectful bow.
Definitely.
We are preparing your rooms now, and the warden will be informed shortly so that he may let the council know that you are back from your mission. And her comment's very, very broken. It's not good. You can tell that she has to put thought into what she's trying to say.
Vlad will thank her again, and ask if there's been, anything interesting that's been occurring over the past month
Nothing.
in Draconic.
Okay, and she'll speak to you in Draconic as well, so that it's not quite so strained. And she tells you that, oh, it's just business as usual. Bakeneko came to the mainland and started a fire about 2 weeks back, but the fire brigade was able to put it out relatively quickly. A few kimono were singed, but nothing major.
That happen often?
Oh, it's not too often. Maybe 5-6 times a year. Bakeneko will come wandering towards the mainland, and a fire will start, or a panic in general. They get mischievous.
Everyone kind of like slowly looks from Umbra.
Yeah.
Everyone slowly looks from Umbra to the lady, and then back to Umbra. And it's like you see the cogs start to turn. Umbra is a Bakeneko. And my eyes kind of light up more with delight that I've solved this incredible riddle.
Umbra's just laughing, like not loud, trying to keep it to himself, but not doing a very good job. He knows exactly who it was that did that. Like he knows the whole details and everything.
Of course he knows.
Well, Vlad will thank her again, and continue eating.
Okay. Again, right around the time you guys finish your meal, the granddaughter comes walking back into the inn, followed by the warden, which is basically just head security, more or less, for the town.
Does Torque recognize him?
Torque does recognize him. He is one of the guards that rolled you up when you beat that poor barkeeper almost to death.
Does he recognize Torque is the big question. Does he recognize Torque is the big question.
I can't imagine there's too many fucking dwarves on this island.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's been a month. It's been at least a month.
Torque's just gonna do like the whole little stuffing his face glance and just kind of squint his eyes like, oh, I know this guy.
Try to hide behind someone.
And he's trying to hide behind the food he's stuffing into his mouth.
The warden his gaze kind of lingers a little bit on Torque, but not too terribly long, before he turns to Vlad and bows respectfully and says, I have informed the elders of your arrival. They will see you in the morning. For tonight, they bid you welcome back and rest. Your accommodations and your meal will be provided for. And he pulls a leather sack off of his belt and kind of tosses it in his hand a little bit. You can hear the jingle of gold coins. And he hands it to the grandma that's running the inn. And she smiles wide because she can tell from the weight that it is considerably more than what she would normally charge.
I think I recognize that bag of money, guys.
Byron is fighting the urge to go full mode and steal that bag for himself.
Steal, I know who it belonged to before the guard had it.
So the warden then gives you guys another respectful bow before turning around and leaving the inn.
Owen turns to Torque. That was your money, idiot.
No shit.
Oh. Thanks for dinner.
Thanks for dinner, Torque.
Yeah, eat up, guys.
Do I need to go, like, activate my armor and, like, paint that guy or something for you?
I can barely hear you. What was that?
Yeah,
A little
what?
far.
Oh, sorry, I had my thing up. No, I was saying, like, do I need to go, like, pants that guy for him? Like, I'll
Would
go
you?
invisible like that and pants him. I mean, do you want me to?
If you're whispering this to Torque,
Damn,
Torque would
Siren's
not
got
say
Torque's
no.
back on this?
Yeah,
would not
Siren is
say-
like,
He
okay,
won't
I got
say
you,
no
buddy.
to
Just a light shoulder pat,
Yeah.
and I'm going to activate my armor of the unseen.
Oh boy. Here comes the shenanigans.
Edwin definitely gets like
the first time we use
position
this
where, like,
legendary
it's not like
armor
his
and it's for
popcorn ready.
shenanigans.
You got to make sure it
Edwin's got
works.
his
This is
popcorn
the best
ready. He's
time.
watching.
Edwin's looking like that Michael Jackson meme.
Oh,
Okay.
I am excited.
Siren, walk us through this. You're trying to sneak up on the guard and yank his pants down?
Pretty much, yeah. I think it would be even funnier if, like, after the pants came down, whatever underwear he's wearing, just up over his head, and then that's it.
Okay.
This man's after my heart.
Love shenanigans.
Gosh, yeah. So,
This man's after my heart.
Armor of the Unseen gives you a automatic stealth pass when not in combat. So, yeah, you sneak up behind this guy, and you go to rip his pants down, and you plan on pulling his underwear up over his head, but he's not wearing any.
Oh, yeah.
No, his loins.
Face full of cheeks.
So you pull his pants down, and he instantly goes to turn around because he's used to little kids being behind him, pulling pranks like this. And he ends up smacking you in the face with his tail. Not enough to break your invisibility or anything, but just enough for him to realize something is there. He pulls his pants up real quick, and he's real suspicious of where you're standing. Do you move or anything?
Just know he is being cackled at. Like, Edwin at this point is pointing his finger, like, hunched over in laughter.
So, hell hit me. He's now, like, turned around facing in my direction.
Uh-huh. And he's got, like, one hand, like, holding his pants up. And he's trying to see you, but he can't.
Insult to injury. I'm going to take 2 fingers, poke him in the eyes, and pull the pants down again.
You might kill Edwin.
Nah, I got you.
Okay, so you poke him in the eyes, you pull his pants down again, and do you take a couple steps back, or what happens?
Yeah, I'll take like 4 steps back to put some good distance between us so he can't like immediately swing out and hit me or something.
Okay. Yeah, so he growls and just kind of like goes to rub his eyes to get his vision back, and grabs his pants down, and he yells at the old lady working the inn. And those that speak Draconic know that he says, clean your house of its spirits. You must have a Bakeneko in here. Do it quickly before the place catches fire.
Edwin totally understands Draconic, and so now he's looking at the Bakeneko and back at the situation. He's on the floor laughing at this point. He's dead. Just chuckling, tears running from his eyes, can't formulate words, but understood that they were like Bakeneko in here, and he looks right at Umbra, cackles even harder.
Umbra, when he hears that, pulls another tassel out and lights it on fire with his fingers and starts to bless the place.
That's great. That's great.
The Bakeneko's like, oh shit, you're right. You might have a Bakeneko in here.
Man, what
They're
are the
lucky
odds?
they're lucky it's just the tassels.
The guard sees you do this, but you're in human form.
Right.
He doesn't quite understand all that the Bakeneko can do. He's just used to the cat form. So he bows again and sees himself out of the inn.
Umbra shouts after him, I don't have opposable thumbs when I'm a cat.
Oh God.
Well, Umbra doesn't speak Draconic. Well,
Yes, he
I guess he
does.
speaks common. Oh, does he? Yeah, no, it makes sense.
When Umbra says that, Edwin goes, ooh.
Orc has no idea what's going on, but everyone's laughing at the guy who stole his money. So
George is hearing growling.
Okay. Anyone that wants to, give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm getting in on this.
Yeah, Vlad's just...
Can I do mine at
I'm not-
disadvantage because
I'm
I'm
not-
trying to bless the place with a burning tassel?
Yep.
I'm not getting in on this. I got
I got a 15.
12.
7.
Oh, God.
15 plus 6, 11, 21.
Okay. So Alaris is the only one that notices this. As soon as Umbra mentions being a cat, the old lady running the inn, she looks horrified. Like,
Oh no.
terrorized, horrified.
Edwin notices because he also got an 18 on his roll. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, no worries. So, and the guard instantly stops. And he quickly ties the rope back together that was holding his pants up. He turns around, and again, Alaris and Edwin, you guys notice this. Nobody else does.
Orc is trying not to choke on his food at the moment.
The warden thumbs his katana loose in the scabbard. And he says, in Draconic, since Umbra addressed him in Draconic, are you saying you are Bakeneko?
I'd like to quickly say that, no, he's just drunk.
Siren's still invisible.
I'm not sure. I'm
Let's
not sure if
say-
I can try to deceive this guy. If I can try to butt in and be like, no, you got it all wrong. This guy's just drunk.
I would say
Gaslight,
make
gatekeep, girl boss.
I would say make a deception check.
Okay.
And what
Fail
level
it.
is that? Siren, what did you
Please.
say?
What I roll? A 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
So no. It's a 4 plus minus 1, so it's a 3.
You better.
oh God.
Edwin's not very convincing. Weird.
He almost lied to himself.
Right?
Ah.
I almost said, no, you got it wrong. He is Bakken Echo.
I was saying that one, you just admit the truth. Like, yeah, he is. I'm just trying to lie to you.
The warden locks eyes with you, Umbra, and he says, Honorable Bakeneko, I ask you please leave this town without trouble. We cannot have your mischief here.
Umbra looks
Was he
at
saying
it
draconic?
Uh-huh.
in Draconic.
Oh, damn. This whole conversation's in draconic, so Torque's got nothing.
Well, Torque at this point would be like, why are they bringing the warden back to the table? He just walked away without noticing me.
So, look, I don't have any more money. You gave it to the old lady.
Umbra looks the warden square in the eye and says, I'm bound to protect this party. I'm not here for mischief. I am here to keep them safe.
Give me a persuasion check.
Nat 20, baby.
Cool.
W.
Shit. Okay.
So technically a 22.
Task failed successfully.
The warden resheathes his katana. It was only broken loose, but he shoves it back in all the way. And he bows to you as low as he can. And he says, Thank you. Please, let your words be truth.
Umbra bows equally as low and says, That is all I speak.
Then have a good night.
Can I also just say, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I don't think I've ever heard of a nicer way to kick somebody out of anything, much less a town.
Guys, not gonna lie, this whole conversation is kind of like that scene in Two Towers where Legolas and Aragorn are arguing at each other at Helm's Deep, and finally Aragorn just says, I'll die as one of them in English. I thought that was going to happen to Torque right there. Like, oh, these guys are just having a conversation, then I'm just going to die like him. And then, wait, what? I thought
Then
that
I'll kill
conversation was
you
about to
like a
happen.
dwarf. George just looks over.
Has it been 5 minutes in the game?
I just imagine Torque with just a mouthful of noodles. And maybe some broth running down his chin.
Beard soap.
Definitely some brockery.
So, the warden will, of course, straighten his posture and take a few steps back before he actually turns around, showing you even more respect. And then turns around and he leaves.
At that point, Umbra is feeling guilty about making a joke about it, and as the warden's walking backwards, he makes sure that he sees him put the tassel out so that he doesn't think I'm starting a fire here.
Okay. And the grandma comes rushing over as quickly as her old legs can carry herself, and she falls to her face, like prostrated.
Prostrated. Yeah.
Yes. I always get that mixed up with another word.
Prostate. That's your butt.
So,
That is a weird way to get those words mixed up.
right? So she's prostrated in front of you, Umbra, and she is like bawling and crying, and she is just begging Indraconic, please, Bakeneko, please do not burden us. Please do not set fire to our establishment.
Before Edwin realizes that the apologies were meant for Umbra, Edwin's like, no, don't worry, it's okay. Like, he was the one being approached.
I'm not going to go too far. Umbra just bows and says, I meant what I said.
I want to lean next to Cyrus and be like, what the hell's going on?
And Umbra looks over, if presuming he hears that, and says, they're just worried I'm going to burn the place down. I'm not going to do that. Come on, guys.
Should we burn it down?
No. What are we doing?
Siren,
I mean,
invisible,
if that's what you,
burn it down.
It's like, I wasn't in the conversation, I don't know.
if that's what you guys want to do, like I told you, I'm here to help you guys, but I didn't think that's something you guys would really want to do.
I mean, one of them, Cyrus has wings and a flamethrower now. I thought, like, that guy was insulting us, and the lady was, like, agreeing until we stepped up, and now it's like, should we burn it?
I mean, look, I know you don't speak the language, but, they were bowing, I was bowing at them, you could kind of see what's going on, right?
Yeah, so we're not burning it down.
Do you want to burn it down? I'm not here to tell you what to do, I'm just here to help.
Well,
if you want to burn it down, let me know. I can help. I promise.
Everyone goes for not burning the place down.
But I did tell him we wouldn't, so I'd rather not.
Oh, okay.
Vlad will interject and remind them that there's a possibility we might get paid more, but that's probably going to be less likely if we start setting the town on fire.
I don't know if we get paid at all if we start burning their villages.
Well, if we start burning it, I can still put it out too, but, like, why? Why don't we just get some sleep and get some sleep tonight? We talk to the elders tomorrow. We go make some money. We go kill things, and I hope y'all kill things, and it's going to be a good time. Let's try that.
Edwin's
I like
probably
this
not going to
plan.
sleep. He's going to go outside and stare at something.
I hate you.
Siren doesn't
He's an
plan on
elf.
sleep.
That's what
He'll
elves
fall
do.
asleep at like a bar table writing in his journal.
Okay, so you guys finish your meal and head off to your respective rooms, I assume?
Vlad does before this gets any worse.
Yeah, when Umbra makes it to his room, he casts a conjure animal spell to a herd of cats, and has cat time before bed. This is his first opportunity to do it on his own, so
Everyone can hear the goddamn cats running around.
just knocking
Goes
stuff
until
over.
fucking 3 in the morning.
He waits till 5 in the morning to do it.
I'm sure that old lady's like, at least the place isn't on fire.
Edwin's just kind of standing at his window, staring out into the night scene of the village. But his eyes are like slowly drifting apart, like cockeyed in opposite directions.
Oh, like Griffin's eyes.
Yeah, and that's kind of how he sleeps and regains his energy, as he goes into that elf trance-like state.
All right. So, evening passes. Let's see. Torque.
Yo.
While you sleep,
Oh, no.
you are back in your hometown. You've been home from the war for like the last 50 years, and you're still just not quite getting it together. You're drinking heavy every single day. until you piss yourself and pass out. But you're
Just like what he did during the war.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, with the dwarves,
not-
it's what you had to do just
not
to get
beating up
through the
barmaids,
night.
he's
Just to
doing
get
it
through the night.
But your parents, they're trying to be supportive. They're trying to be understanding. And you dream, in your dream, it's not exactly how it happened in real life, but you tell them that you're going to go work on airships. And you're essentially reliving that moment when your father specifically said that you were no son of his, that you were no dwarf at all, and to get out of his home.
I'm sorry, but this. Oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had a flashback.
He tells you, I could look past your drinking, your sottenness, but this, you want to go play on those mamby-pamby elven ships? Get out. And as he says get out, his face turns into a goblin's face. His ears elongate and point out. And in your dream, you just heave a giant battle axe and cleave his head in two. And you wake up just drenched in sweat. Edwin, as you trance, you don't really dream, but you feel as if your goddess is looking over you. You feel like she's expecting something from you, but not really giving you any clue as if to what it is. Umbra, as you sleep, you also dream. And your dream is also a memory. You remember lying on your belly in cold, wet mud, looking over just the slightest of hill, as someone you once knew very well, but you just can't remember who he is right now, is burned alive in a bonfire by large, misshapen figures. But the evening passes, the sun rises, you all awake, and you are free to go about your business.
Ooh, spooky.
Torque wakes up sad.
Torque needs a drink.
Yeah, he needs a drink.
Go straight to the bottle.
Umbra wakes up and wonders if his pyromania is related to that dream.
Could be.
Well, Vlad will be downstairs whenever the party is done brushing their teeth and
Torque's gonna go down the stairs after collecting himself and rinsing off the sweat, and he's just gonna sit down next to Vlad and just pull out that whiskey that he got from Bailey and just take a big gulp. Like I'm talking 7-Eleven gas station big gulp.
7-Eleven Big Gold.
Edwin, after his dream, probably heads down to a courtyard or a square to get a little bit more fresh air as soon as the sun rises, pondering his vision and what it means, or his feelings, and wondering, his God has been so direct with him in the past, but why is she now being so obscure?
Womp womp.
Definitely worried I've disappointed her.
Now, Siren's outside too. He actually fell asleep outside. So he's just laying on like the porch of the inn, half asleep. His hat over his face.
Oh, Siren, what are you doing here?
Trying to sleep.
You try to bed?
Bed is no. I don't like beds. They're too stiff.
Everyone kind of proceeds to kind of just stare out into the distance, almost detaching himself for a second before replying, well, I should probably go inside and get something to drink. You want to come inside, or are you going to stay out here and sleep?
I might as well come inside and drink. Never too early for a margarita.
Roger that.
Hey-o.
I hear they have Mai Tais here.
Ooh, Mai Tais?
You can never go wrong with a screwdriver in the AM.
Hey, that's what they used to call me in college.
The screwdriver?
The screwdriver.
I thought they called you in the AM.
What does
I
that
hate
mean?
you so much.
My airplane level humor. Oh, God.
All right, so you guys have a very hearty breakfast. And
Torque's drinking his.
yeah, very, very hearty.
So is Umbra, but it's in a saucer of milk.
Nice. Yeah, for you, anything you want, the old lady gets, and you can tell when you look at her, she did not sleep at all last night. She spent the entire night praying that you were not going to burn her inn down.
What a worry wart.
Good thing we had that conversation earlier, guys.
Must have been hard worrying about that with all those cats he sent running around the house, knocking shit over.
He's definitely in his calico form as a small cat drinking out of this saucer of milk as she's like stressed out with bloodshot eyes, exhausted.
Siren would sit by Umbra and put a straw in the milk and just sip out of it.
Umbra's happy to share.
Edwin doesn't eat any breakfast, but is absent-mindedly stroking Umbra.
And that's a...
Yeah, I mean, he's in his little cat form. He gets
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
He's with it. Whatever. As long as he got his breakfast milk, he's good.
Maybe there's
His breakfast milk.
We'll get a second saucer if we need to. No big deal. And you hear that telepathically.
So after breakfast, I assume you guys head out to go meet with the elders, and they don't make you wait or anything. They bring you right in, and the white Dragonborn Elder addresses you guys and says, "Welcome back. I assume you have found the forge. Is this correct?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Vlad will, of course, bow when they enter, and answer him. Yes, we have found the forge and passed the test of the Bakaneko.
This is very good news, and most unexpected. Were the Bakaneko honorable?
Yes, they treated us well while we were there. Even the crew of our airship we're given accommodations.
This is good. If they are happy, then we know that we will not have too many fires this year.
You gotta stop, man. You're just so tempting every time you bring it up.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh my god, it's just it's antagonizing Umbra.
So, elders, we bring news of more than just the Ford. Go
What
ahead.
news do you bring?
Regarding the mission that you sent us on, we killed many, including their leaders. But we did not kill them all because we discovered that they were unwitting puppets, the elves, who were the ones truly behind the massacre of the Golden Dragonborns.
Siren Son had alluded to this before we hired you to go with him. This we expected, and we can appreciate your mercy almost as much as we appreciate you dealing with their leaders. We feel you have fulfilled the spirit of the contract. Arigato.
Vlad will bow deeply.
And the council returns the bow as well. And the blue Dragonborn Elder will pipe in and he'll say, as for the armies that we promised, you will have them. We have dispatched messengers all over Yokai, and they are marshaling. We have also sent a messenger to the dwarves in Jordan. The plan is for our Dragonborn to link up with the dwarves and cross the waters to Sharik. But we have also been informed of a terrible storm that, if it continues to grow, may make it difficult to enact our plans, and we may have to seek a different route. Tell me, do you know anything of these storms over the Tempest Mountains?
I heard that it was there.
Yeah,
I never heard anything about it.
Vlad will answer that the storm is seemingly of unnatural causes, and it is one of the things that this party has taken on to investigate. It's actually our next destination after our business here is finished.
Very good. Then we will continue with our plans as they are made. If the Baka Neko found you worthy, you will no doubt quell this storm before our ships arrive.
Vlad will simply bow to him.
Yep, he returns your bow, and the Black Dragonborn Elder will pipe up and say, "Is there any other business?"
I think they paid us in advance, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 500 gold each.
Yeah.
Woo! 500 schmeckles.
Vlad will simply say, we appreciate the kindness of your city and of your elder council, and hope that we will be welcomed back as friends should we ever find a reason to return.
The green Dragonborn Elder shoots Torque a dirty look before saying, "You will. Even your dwarf friend will be a friend of yokai."
Yay me.
Yippee!
Umbra looks pleasantly surprised that it's not his fault.
Not this time.
All right, then Vlad will bow once more and start to back out of the chamber and attempt to corral the rest of the party along with him before someone gets jumped or set on fire.
Okay. Alright, that sounds like a plan. If you guys
Hate for somebody else to be set on fire. Maybe something green.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
Alright.
We could always light Dr. V on fire for a little bit. He can take it.
Hey, Tim, what's the topography right outside of the gate of this town?
Kind of mountainous. Let me. Okay. Yep. There. So that is kind of the grand overview of yokai. So it is mountainous. It does have a large river right next to it. Dense jungle around it.
I don't want you to have to go too far because it's not that serious. But as we leave the town, we go out the gate. Umbra would pick like a bush or a small plant or something that he knows wouldn't lead to anything serious, and cast create bonfire on it.
Just to let them know they're not safe, but not cause any harm.
Yeah, like, I'm not really gonna do it, but you never know, because there could be another Bakaneko who, at this point, I'm not connected to. I'm connected to this party now, but you guys better stay on your toes. You never know.
Gotta casually remind people the odds of you being killed by a cow are low, but not zero.
That's exactly right.
Your odds of being killed by a cow are higher than being
0%
killed by a shark.
I don't want it to turn into like a forest fire or an LA fire if we're gonna go metagame, but just a little something or other. You know, just a little burning bush. Definitely not in that way, but a little burning bush.
Just get a little smoke in the air.
Yeah, just a little something to remember us by. You know, we mean business. We got it. We can handle it.
I doubt they're fooled. They're like, that goddamn Bakaneko lit a fire right before he left. Son of a bitch.
Well, look, Umbra kept his word. The party helped him keep his word by not wanting to set fire. That's what he's about. We're going to keep our word, but we're not going to let you forget.
And I can understand needing to get it out after exercising all that restraint.
You know, hey, look, it took more work than... I mean, he had to use a 4th level spell to kind of calm himself down by summoning all these cats. But he did what he needed to do to keep our party safe without causing problems in the town.
This guy. This guy reminds
This guy's
me
got
of
the right
Torque,
idea.
weirdly.
Orc 2.0.
Kinda.
You know, you'd think his wisdom would be lower. It's almost embarrassing. You know?
Everyone's wise,
but
he's
he
got
only
zero
charisma. made it through because of his wisdom. That's it. He's determined. He was sent on this path to keep you guys safe, And that does not mean causing problems for y'all. So he's doing his best.
I appreciate you. You're doing better than Torque, TBH.
Listen, give him a chance. He had a bad dream.
Torque?
He had a bad dream. Everyone in this chamber who's like, we came here to hire, hates me right now.
So where are we on the map again? Are we still in Yokai?
We're on
Yes.
the
Oh, I see the blimp. We're just leaving Yokai. Or we're
Wait,
at Kyoko. About
where's
to
the
leave Yokai.
Where's the blimp? For my clarity.
Yep.
Right on top of Kyoko.
I got you. I see it. I got you. Thank you.
You guys probably shouldn't have done this. You guys all have control of the airship now. But
Oh no.
you mentioned you're heading to Sharik, right?
Wait, why do we have control of the airship?
Well, I mean, I can move it for you guys.
Oh. You meant
So
like
you-
on the map. I thought you meant we were forced to drive it. I was like, oh shit, did something happen to our crew?
Oh, God, no.
They're all
That's a big. That's quite the leap.
Yeah.
That'd be a mistake.
I was like, fuck, I've been listening as good as I can. I must have missed some shit.
Who's picking the music? Is the first question.
You are subject to whatever music
I can't hear any music.
No, I meant on the ship, not the music in Roll20. Oh,
I am playing Freebird 24/7.
If Edwin had his way, he would be riding in silence.
As Freebird plays, Umbra wild shapes into a giant eagle and flies right beside the airship.
Pretty sick.
That's what I'm talking
Do you
about.
give
That's
like
why I used to go.
a very bald eagle screech?
Oh, 100%. He is. When I say giant eagle, it's not Lord of the Rings giant eagle. It's definitely a bald eagle, giant eagle flying beside the airship.
Rock on.
America.
Torque wants to be working with Dr. V.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
was gonna say-
suggest.
Edwin wants to be working on his relationship with his goddess and trying to figure out what it is she's trying to invoke in him, what path she's trying to set him on. So he's just gonna meditate and pray on that.
And Vlad's going to show some kindness to Dr. V, maybe bring him some good food that he doesn't have to eat off the floor, and ask if he would be able to tell them more about the storm over Sharik and the device that's causing it.
Okay. All right. So, first things first. We'll start with Edwin.
Oh yeah, I'm asking my goddess like questions like, is there someone specifically you want me to save? That's usually the path that you set me on, but the feeling I got almost sounded like you wanted me to kill somebody. That's normally not how I've served you in the past.
Doesn't seem very cash money.
I mean, sorry. Would you like me to kill Dr. V? These are just things that I'm asking to my goddess.
You hear this powerful feminine voice in your head say, Dr. Vasilievich's story is not ready, but there is one I need you to dispatch. His story should have ended a long time ago.
Oh, shit.
But where you are going, you will not find him there.
Oh.
Whose story was supposed to end a long time ago?
Oh, man. Sorry.
She hasn't. She didn't drop names. I may be in the dark for a little bit still.
BRB fellas, gotta let the puppies out.
Okay.
Damn. Edwin is absolutely shaken by this turn of event and by this information. You know, he knows not to probe his god because what he's just experienced is like a major touch to like hear his god happens so seldom. But he is very, very anxious to get moving, and probably in a different direction.
You feel a slight tug to the south. Just in general.
Like her hand turned my face to the south.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. So damn.
Now, Vlad, you said you brought Dr. V a good meal. You wanted to ask him about the weather generator. He says, yes, of course. Of course. Well, I couldn't put an overt flaw in it. But I was able to use a lesser quality focusing lens. It's very, very armored. You're gonna have to get through the armor to access this focusing lens, but once you get to that focusing lens, you hit it as hard as you can with a hammer, as many times as you can, and you'll break it. But once you break it, the machine's gonna become unstable, and I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards. You may not have much time to get away from it, or it may just go inert, but I doubt that.
Vlad will ask him if there's any weaknesses in the armor, or is the armor, more affected by one type of force than another?
Give me a second to look up my notes here. He knows. I don't know. He tells you, yes, as a matter of fact, bludgeoning weapons, hammers, clubs, maces, those are going to have the most effect. You can use your swords, but it's not going to be as effective. And a piercing weapon, like a firearm, isn't going to do anything to it at all until you get through. Once you get through that armor, then, you can use any weapon at your disposal. That focusing lens doesn't have any real strength, but the armor does.
And then lastly, he tells specific where the weather generator is.
I wasn't there when they emplaced it, but from what Booker told me, there's an old tunnel that during the Great War, the dwarves used to move their machines under the mountain when the pass above the mountain got too dangerous. I'm under the impression that that tunnel collapsed about halfway through, but Booker said that the orcs and the goblins have been busy digging out a new chamber that branches off from that tunnel, and that they installed the weather generator in that new chamber.
Anything else you can tell me that might help us in stopping this?
Expect it to be very, very heavily guarded. Especially with you guys successfully getting me out of Malvik, I imagine they've doubled the troops in those mountains.
All right.
Hey, could this be a good time for us to take a quick break?
We absolutely can, yeah. Let's take our 10
Thanks.
break and reconvene.
Yeah, I just got a mess. Dog's made. I gotta clean up.
Oh boy. Have fun with that.
Yep. Bye.
Alright, we'll see y'all in 10.